Hey, my name is Phoebe. My husband, Sean, and I first met back in college, and from that moment on, we were inseparable. Our shared values and morals were the foundation of our love. We both believed in treating others with kindness and respect, and we worked together to make the world a better place. Our bond was unbreakable because we were always there for each other, through the good times and the bad. Since we matched together so well, it's not surprising that we ended up getting married. After a couple of years of marriage, we were finally in a good place in our lives. We were financially stable and ready to start the next chapter, parenthood. We dreamt of having little ones running around, filling our home with laughter and love. We were so excited to start a family together. But then, our journey to conceive became a struggle. After a year and a half of trying, we found out from the doctor that I was infertile. Felt like a heavy weight crashing down on me. I couldn't help but blame myself. I felt so broken and lost. Thankfully, Sean stood by my side, being the incredible partner he has always been. I just don't understand why this is happening to us. It's so unfair. I can't help but blame myself for not being able to conceive.
My love, please don't blame yourself. This is not your fault. We're in this together, and we'll find a way forward. We'll explore all the options, seek medical advice, and do whatever it takes to make our dream of becoming parents come true.
But what if it never happens, babe? What if we're never able to have a child of our own? I can't bear the thought of us missing out on that joy.
I know it's hard to imagine right now, but we can't lose hope. We're strong, and we'll face whatever comes our way. Besides, there are other paths to parenthood, like adoption or surrogacy. Our love and commitment are not limited to having a biological child. Our family can be built in different ways, and it'll be just as beautiful and meaningful.
You're right, darling. We have each other, and that's what truly matters. I'm grateful to have you by my side through all of this.
And I'm grateful for you, my love. Together we'll navigate this journey, supporting and loving each other every step of the way. We'll find strength in our love, and we won't let this challenge define us. Our love is bigger than any problem we may face.
Thank you, darling. I needed to hear that. I love you.
I love you too, my love. We'll get through this together. Our journey to parenthood may be different than we imagined, but it will be beautiful in its way.
Sean's support gave me hope and made me feel better. He reminded me that there are different ways to become parents. We decided to face the challenges together with love and strength. We had to wait for a year because of insurance issues before we could start treatments. During that time, Sean's sister, Beatrice, got married, and we were really happy for her. Beatrice and I were very close. We weren't just family, we were also best friends. We trusted each other and shared our secrets. We had fun together on girls' days and sleepovers, where we could talk about anything and everything without judgment. Those moments were special to us because we could be ourselves and feel safe. Beatrice was always there for me, and I believed that I could always rely on her. We laughed together, cried together, and supported each other through life's ups and downs. I cherished our friendship and the special bond we had formed. We were like two peas in a pod, sharing our hopes, dreams, and fears without reservation. After Beatrice's bachelorette party, our friendship faced a challenge. She confessed to me that she had cheated on her fiancé, Dan, while she was drunk. It shocked me, and I didn't understand why she did that. I wanted to scold her, but I was afraid it would hurt our relationship. Instead, I asked her a big question. Did she regret what she did? Surprisingly, she said she didn't. I felt disgusted and hurt, but I didn't say anything to avoid causing a scene in public. The next morning, after Beatrice's bachelorette party, she woke up with a pleading look in her eyes.
Phoebe, please promise me you won't say anything. I made a terrible mistake by cheating on Dan. I'm so scared of losing Dan and tearing our family apart.
This is really hard for me. I care about you, but keeping such a big secret feels wrong. Dan deserves to know the truth.
Please, Phoebe, I'm begging you. I'll do anything to make things right. I can't bear the thought of losing him.
I understand how much you're hurting, but cheating is serious betrayal. If you truly love Dan, you need to be honest with him and work through this together.
I promise. I swear on my life that I'll never cheat on him again. Please, just give me a chance to fix things.
Okay. I'll keep your secret for now, but I hope you know that the truth has a way of coming out. If you don't tell Dan, he'll find out some way, and you'll need to be prepared to face the consequences of your actions. I felt torn between being loyal to Beatrice and being honest. Doubts filled my mind, and I wasn't sure if I had made the right choice. The secret weighed heavily on me, making me feel uneasy. We hugged and acted like everything was okay. As her wedding day got closer, I tried to push the secret away, hoping it wouldn't cause any trouble. Beatrice looked so happy, and I didn't want to ruin her special day. So the wedding went on as planned, and she walked down the aisle with a smile that hid the truth she kept. It was hard for me, carrying the secret and not knowing what to do, but I thought that by keeping her secret I was also protecting our relationship as sisters-in-law. Months went by, and the happy news of Beatrice's pregnancy spread throughout our family. Sean and I were genuinely thrilled for her. We were excited to welcome a new addition to our family. Little did I know that Beatrice would use her pregnancy as a weapon to taunt and hurt me. It started innocently enough. Phoebe made an offhand comment about my infertility out of the blue. "Oh, Phoebe, it must be so hard for you, not being able to experience the joys of motherhood. You must be jealous of me having this amazing baby on the way."
No, you can't speak to Phoebe like that. It's disrespectful and hurtful. Phoebe and I are thrilled for you, but that doesn't give you the right to belittle her.
I was just joking, Sean. You know how sensitive Phoebe can be. Lighten up.
It's not a joke when it hurts someone. Phoebe deserves respect, especially from her family. We're here to support you, but that doesn't mean you can mock Phoebe for something she has no control over.
Fine, whatever. I didn't mean anything by it.
Apologize to Phoebe now. Show her some empathy and understanding.
I'm sorry, Phoebe. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. Let's just move on, okay? Thank you, Sean. And Beatrice, apology accepted. Let's focus on celebrating your pregnancy without any more hurtful comments. The months that followed became a nightmare. Beatrice's taunts and meanness got worse and worse. She seemed to enjoy making me feel bad about not being able to have kids. She would make fun of me, put me down, and even tell Sean to leave me and find someone else who could have children. Her words hurt so much, and they started to affect our relationship. Sean started to pull away from me. Beatrice's words were hurting him too, and he started to doubt if we had a future together. It was painful to see the distance growing between us, and I wished for the love, support, and understanding we used to have. I couldn't understand why Beatrice, who I thought was my close friend, would be so mean to me. When I tried to talk to her about how her words hurt me, she just made fun of me and said I was jealous. It felt like she wanted to hurt our relationship. After facing Beatrice's hurtful words, I would come home and cry. I felt so alone and broken. My dream of becoming a mother felt like it was slipping away, and I felt hopeless. I started to question if I was worthy as a woman and a wife, even though it was something I couldn't control. But deep inside, I felt a strong determination. I couldn't let Beatrice's mean behavior ruin my relationship with Sean. It was time for me to do something about it, to protect my marriage. I remembered that Beatrice once used my phone to log into her Instagram accounts, so I decided to check her messages. To my surprise, I found clear evidence of her affair, breaking her promise not to cheat on Dan. Some messages and pictures showed her deception. It hurts to see the truth. As I looked through their messages, I discovered something surprising. Beatrice was cheating on Dan with a man who was black, and she was worried because she knew the baby she was carrying wasn't Dan's. It made me realize that karma would take care of things without my direct interference. I bravely talked to Sean and told him the shocking truth about Beatrice's infidelity. "Babe, there's something I need to tell you. It's about Beatrice."
"What is it, darling?
You seem upset. Is something wrong with Beatrice?" "It's not easy for me to say this, but I found out that she's been having an affair. I stumbled upon some evidence that proves it."
"What? Are you sure? How did you find out?"
"I knew before she and Dan got married. She drunkenly admitted it to me. I wanted to tell you so bad, but she made me promise her that I wouldn't tell you or Dan."
"Oh, darling, how could you do that? I never expected you to hide something so big."
"What about Dan? That poor man. And he's just about to become a father. I know I'm beyond sorry for what I did, and there's no reason or excuse for what I did. All I was thinking was protecting my relationship with her, and our relationship. I didn't want you to have to pick sides or lose your sister. I thought she would stop. She promised me she would, but
I get it. I get what you mean. It's okay, just no more secrets between us anymore, okay?
promise, babe.
Now, tell me how you found out that she's still cheating.
Well, she had logged into her Instagram account on my phone, and so I could see her messages, pictures, and conversations that clearly showed that she was involved with someone else. I only looked because I wanted to get revenge on her, but it seems like the baby she's carrying won't be Dan's, and it will be very apparent.
What do you mean?
Her affair partner is a black man, so...
I can't believe she would do this to Dan, to our family! How could she betray him like this? What has she done?
I know. It's devastating. We have to face the truth. She's been nothing short of a nightmare for us. This is simply karma paying her back. Her actions have deeply affected our marriage too. Her hurtful words and the way she taunted us all had an impact. I couldn't keep it from you any longer. I thought you deserved to know.
I'm so sorry, darling. I can't believe I let her words affect me and our relationship. I should have stood up for you. This changes everything. I can't look at her the same way anymore.
It's okay, babe. I knew how you felt, but I couldn't reach you to comfort you because you iced me out. How about we simply sit back now and watch Beatrice's life unravel? Together, we decided to let fate handle things and see what would happen in the end. We endured the last few months of Beatrice's taunting, waiting for the day she would give birth. And finally, that day came. Beatrice was taken to the hospital, and Dan was with her. Sean, I, and a mix of anxiety and satisfaction, were also there. We took turns holding Beatrice's hand and when Dan needed a break. On the big day, Beatrice was taken to the hospital with Dan beside her. She went through hours of labor pains, and Dan stayed by her side the whole time. He showed his love and support by comforting her, kissing her hands and forehead, and telling her everything would be okay. He was excited to become a father, and his love for Beatrice was evident in his actions and words. Sean and I remained at the hospital, ready to support Dan when he learned the truth. We took turns comforting Beatrice when Dan needed a break. Finally, the baby was born. But the atmosphere quickly changed when the nurse seemed surprised while looking at Dan and Beatrice. Dan grew worried and asked if something was wrong. The nurse hurriedly left, saying she needed to do routine cleaning and checkups for the baby. Beatrice fell into a deep sleep after giving birth because she was exhausted. Dan paced anxiously in the ward. Sean and I understood what was about to happen and felt for him. Later, the doctor came in and asked Dan to sit down. The doctor calmly explained that the baby, even though born to Beatrice, had a different racial background than Dan. Dan looked shocked. The doctor suggested a DNA test to find out the baby's real father because genetics can sometimes be unpredictable. Without giving Dan a chance to respond, I mustered the courage to speak up on his behalf. I told him not to pursue the DNA test because I already knew the truth. I revealed to Dan the painful secret I had been keeping all along, that Beatrice had cheated on him before they even got married. I explained how she had begged me to keep quiet, pleading for a chance to make things right. My voice trembled as I confessed the burden I had carried, torn between loyalty to my sister and the love I had for Dan. Tears welled up in my eyes as I realized the immense hurt I had caused by keeping silent.
Why didn't you tell me about this? How could you keep such a huge secret from me? I'm so sorry. Beatrice begged me not to say anything and I foolishly agreed. I didn't want to jeopardize our relationship, and she promised me she would never do it again. I was foolish enough to believe that. I should have told you sooner, and I take full responsibility for that. How could she do this to me? I trusted her with my life, and she was carrying on an affair behind my back. Show me the evidence. I need to see it.
Here. These messages, pictures and conversations, they prove what I'm saying. I understand if it's hard to believe, but I wanted you to know the truth.
I can't believe this. How could she be so heartless? I thought we had something real, something solid. I can't stay with her. Please tell her I'm done, that she won't see me again. If she needs to communicate, it will be through a lawyer.
I'll tell her that. I understand your decision, and I'm truly sorry for not telling you sooner. You deserve better than this, and I hope you find healing and happiness in time. After the chaos, Sean and I are determined to heal and rebuild our marriage. We faced a tough test, but we learnt the importance of supporting each other and talking honestly, even when things are hard. It's not easy, but we believe we can get through this. As for Beatrice, she faced the consequences of her actions without me doing anything. Karma took its course and Dan decided to leave her. I saw her reaction, a mix of surprise and regret as she realized the seriousness of what she had done. It was tough to watch, but I knew it was a lesson she needed to learn. Sean and I made a hard choice to have limited contact with Beatrice. It's difficult to set boundaries with someone I used to be so close to, but her action hurt us deeply. We still care about her, but we also need to protect ourselves. I hope that one day she can find her way back, but right now, she needs to face the consequences and learn from her mistakes. Sean and I are ready to move forward, even stronger than before. We hold each other close, knowing we can face anything together. The support and encouragement from our loved ones means so much, and we're determined to rebuild what was almost broken.